Hello, I'm John Rushton, the emotions expert. Today we're going to talk about speaking your mind. Speaking your mind seems very simple, doesn't it? It seems absolutely plain sailing. You just say what you want to say and that's it. But for many people, speaking their mind is difficult. It's something which they find very, very difficult indeed, because they don't want to upset people. They want to say the correct thing. They're frightened to speak the truth because it may not be acceptable. And this is all within their mind. It's all about how they think, what other people will think. Well, the first thing is forget what other people will think, because they don't think that much. Forget about what other people will think, because this is all about them and it's nothing to do with you. What other people think is concocted by what they think themselves, how they think, their thoughts, their feelings, their understanding in life, their perceptions, their negativity, their positivity, all of these things. It's all about them. So forget about what other people may or may not like. And it could be in your parents, in fact. It could be friends, it could be family members, it could be anybody around you. But if you don't say ever what you want to say, nobody is going to know, because people are not mind readers. People have a job understanding what you're saying at the best of times anyway. So you've got to be really explicit and say how you think, how you feel. And if you don't like something, even if you're the only one, say so, because quite often when you do think you're the only one and everybody else seems to be saying yes, it's quite often that other people say yes because they're following suit. They're lemmings, they're sheep. They're saying yes because everybody else has said yes and they don't say no. Say no, because the moment you say no, you will find other people will have said no as well, or wish they had said no, or something of that nature. If you don't like something, then say so. It's not because anything's politically correct or anything of that nature. You're entitled not to like things. You're entitled not to understand what's going on around you. You're entitled to think things are not right. And if you think things are not right, then don't be frightened of saying it. So, well, I don't particularly like this, or I don't like that. You don't have to be sort of bombastic and argumentative or be sort of functional in the way that you say, this isn't right, this isn't how you should do it, this. You can just say, I don't like this. This is not what pleases me. This is not something which actually resonates well within myself. This is not something which is good for me. This is not something which I would do. This is not a place I would go to see. That is not something I particularly like. I don't like their food. I don't like that. Now, there are people who perpetually whinge and moan and they don't like anything because that's just the way of life it is for them. They're just miserable whinging gits. But outside of that, the average person does have likes and dislikes. And you're entitled to be vociferous and tell people you don't like them. You don't have to go around telling everybody straight away, I don't like this, I don't like that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But you can say in a pertinent conversation, okay, we've been to that restaurant. I must admit, I don't particularly like it. I'm not into that particular kind of food, or it's very, very spicy, and I just can't take spicy food. And I've tried some of their lesser dishes which contain little spice, and it still had adverse effects. So I won't go next time. And don't be cajoled into it and say, oh, you can get something, you can just have a slice of bread whilst we have a nice meal and you can talk with. Well, no, it's not satisfactory. It's not what I want to do. I either want to join in or I don't want to be there. It's not how it is for other people. It's how it is for me. It's how I feel comfortable. You've got to say what you want. And if you don't say what you want, the consensus of opinion isn't going to be leveled out. If everybody said what they liked, yes, no, indifferent, then at least there would be a consensus of opinion and understanding, and things could be changed, because quite often in companies or organizations or with products, if many people have on their feedback say, well, it was a very good product, but, and they get 27,000 people saying, but, and it's the same common answer, they'll say, brilliant, we can change that. It's not a problem. We didn't understand that. We didn't know. And so it's only by saying something will you change something. And if you don't say something, then expect to be put on or to be the same to continue. And then you'll be upset and annoyed and frustrated and angry and put upon because nothing is changing. It's always the same. If you do say what you want, eventually things will change. And the more you speak your mind, in a correct way, not going out and being bombastic, but in a correct way, the better you will feel about yourself. You will feel more in charge of yourself, more about who you are, how you feel, how you think. You won't be put upon. You won't get some bombastic person saying, oh, I want 3 volunteers, you, and you. And say, not me. Go somewhere else. And of course, they come back and say, well, of course, if you don't do that, the whole thing will collapse. And of course, your retort is, well, if the whole thing will collapse, it's so fickle, I don't want to be part of it anyway. So throw it back to them. But if you can't do that, at least just learn to say no. Learn to say whatever you think, you feel, whatever makes you feel better. It may not be easy initially to go and say these things. You may be stuttering and stammering, and I do occasionally, about these kind of things, but you say it. You get it off your chest, and you will feel so good that other people will know now. And when they're thinking about doing things in future, they'll say, oh, well, we can go here. Oh, well, so-and-so doesn't like that, so maybe we could go somewhere else. It's not that they're going to change their mind and do something different just because of you, because some people don't like anything. They don't like spicy food, they don't like sweet food, they don't like sour food, so you can't please everybody all the time. But at least you know what to do, where to go, how to do it. You feel better for doing it. You're in a better situation yourself. You can understand if you've got to make allowances yourself, you feel better that you're making allowances because everybody knows. You don't feel like a fish out of water. You feel like you're part of the crowd. And the crowd don't mind if you're different or you don't particularly like something, because whilst you're honest, you're actually being part of the overall empathy of the situation. There's a synergy which is warm and kind and understanding. So speak your mind, even at work. Tell people, tell your boss, tell your supervisor to say something. They may not like to say anything because they may be in a position where they didn't talk anyway. But nevertheless, you say it. At least you've got it off your chest. Be the person you want to be. This is all about you. Don't put up with things for the sake of it. Maybe on an odd occasion, okay, but if it's going to be something which is going to be prolific or it's going to be frequent, don't put up with it. Let everybody know, because when everybody knows, they feel more comfortable with you and wondering why you're not acting in a proper manner, or your situation is somewhat different. Be the person that understands what other people are thinking and vice versa. It's very, very important. So next time you want to say something, don't hesitate. Say it in your way, the way you want to say it, how you want to say it, and what you want to say, and you will make yourself feel far, far better.